day, everyone. So, our topic is about setting up an iOS development environment. So, in setting up your iOS development environment, you'll learn something that the software setup required for iOS development. So, in this step, you learn how the software setup required for iOS development, how to check for pre-installed software, how to install missing software. So, as the development machine, something that you officially must have or do before you can have or do something else. So a Mac OS X development machine is a successful completion of step 1 install common components. About the iOS development environment, iOS development components include Xcode and iOS SDK. So what is Xcode? So Xcode is an Apple's integrated development environment for Mac OS used to develop software for Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, Watch OS, and tvOS. And well, and iOS SDK. So iOS SDK is a software development kit developed by Apple Incorporation. And the kit allows for the development of mobile application on Apple iOS and operating system. So while you install Xcode and the iOS SDK as a single unit from the Mac App Store, this package also installs the iOS simulator with recent iPhone and iPad images. So the minimum versions mobile SDK is 9.0. It requires Xcode 12, deployment target iOS 13 SDK, base SDK, and on iOS 14 SDK. So note, if Windows is your development environment, skip this step. You can install Xcode. iOS development requires Mac OS. So on this window, you can use the Android platform to do mobile SDK development. So while installing Xcode and the iOS SDK, so on your Mac, open the App Store. Search the name Xcode. Third is click get or update. Then if prompted, click install app. So fourth is to install, verify, and confirm your installation. Follow the prompts. When installation finishes, click open. Sixth is accept the Xcode and iOS SDK license agreement. 7 is to install extra components for building and debugging. Follow the prompts. So the Xcode package automatically installs simulator images for recent Apple mobile devices. So you don't have to set them up. So if the development of environment for your mobile SDK is ready for iOS native app development, if you'd like to install the optional but recommended mobile SDK tool for creating native iOS apps, continue to install Cocoa Pods and for Force iOS.
So this is the continuation of setup of your iOS development environment. So first, install CocoaPads. So before let us know how to install CocoaPads, let us know first what is CocoaPads. So CocoaPads is a third-party deficiency manager required by ForShoes, a mobile SDK utility. So you need ForShoes and CocoaPads to earn the Develop with Mobile SDK badge. However, CocoaPads is optional for real-world mobile SDK development. So to enable ForShoes, install first CocoaPads. So step 1. To check if it is already installed, type in terminal window below this code. So if the command report version number 1.8 or higher, you're then proceed to the next installation. So if the reported version is below the range, continue to step 2. So, but if you get a command not found, error messages, continue to step 2 again. Step 2, terminal window, type this code, copy this code. So if you encounter problems with the installation, consult the documentation and cocopods.org. So step 3, when the installer finishes, return to step 1. Next, guy, install Shoes. So for creating compatible iOS app, Mobile SDK provides Shoes and open source command line utility. Shoes, guy, is the quickest and easiest way to create mobile SDK apps for iOS Nastia. Then you enter some metadata prompted, and a few minutes later you have a fully configured Xcode project. So note, Shoes is required for the develop with mobile SDK badge, but it is optional for mobile SDK iOS development. To create project without it, say creating an iOS web project manually. So to install Shoes, let us know the step. So step 1, open the terminal app. So step 2, type sudo and pm installed /org shoes this code below and press return. Step 3, when prompted, enter your system password. So step 4, to verify your installation, type shoes version and press return. For example, this code below. Then step 5, to view usage information for shoes, type shoes and press return. Good job! Now you can create a mobile SDK app with shoes. Load it into Xcode and run it on iOS. Tell me later. You can continue to the Android installation step if you haven't done it already, or to the hybrid or React Native installation step.
Hi guys, good morning. I'm Joel Christian Erminton. I'm in your screen today to discuss all about iOS controllers. So first, I will discuss you about view controllers. So view controllers are the programming guide for iOS. So guys, here's the info about view controllers. So view controllers are the foundation of your app's internal structure. So each view controller manages a portion of your app user interface as well as the interactions between the interface and the underlying data. Then guys, here's the example for a wireless game controller to connect to your Apple device. So first example is Xbox wireless controller with Bluetooth. So this is for gaming guys. And second is Xbox Elite wireless controller series 2, Xbox adaptive controller. And then number 4 is PlayStation DualShock wireless controller, other MFI made for iOS. So guys, this controller is upgraded this year. So guys, again, those controllers are made for gaming. So it's for me as a gamer, it's helpful enough to like carry games, play games easily with those wireless controllers. And then we go to how do I use controller on iOS. Many of us didn't know how to use it, so here's here's the here's the guide on how to use iOS controllers. So first, just put the controller into pairing mode. Open the settings app on your iPhone or iPad and select Bluetooth. Tap the controller, pair it with your device. So the pairing is done. Then the new so that's the steps on how to connect with the wireless controllers. So the new Apple TV also use MFI controllers. So games that have updated to run on the Apple TV should also work with MFI controllers on your iPhone or iPad. For more information, here's the best controller for iPhone to play games. So the best way to play games on iPhone or iPad or Apple TV is with a controller. So the Steel series, Nimbus Plus is our top pick because of its versatility, familiar layout, and iOS features. So, it's kinda old, but it's upgraded. So, it's user-friendly controller for ng iPhone users. And it's easy to handle to play games. So, guys, I hope you understand my short topics all about iOS controllers for games, and I hope that it helps you to understand more about iOS controllers. And thank you for staying, and thank you so much, guys. God bless.
So good morning. I'm here to discuss about creating iOS views. So a view represents a single item on the user interface. So it could be a control such as button or slider, an input text field, or perhaps an image. A view perhaps a view covers a specific area on the screen and can be configured to respond to touches events. So overview, the iOS framework comes with many views that common user interface elements. You can also create a custom view. So to encapsulate the visual appearance and behavior of your own reusable component. So for example, in a news reading applications, we might want a standard component to display image with a caption using a consistent style on the both the homepage view controller as well as the individual story view controller. So this quick start gives a recipe for making a custom view in Interface Builder and using it in another part of your application. So creating a custom view. Step 1. Design custom view interface builder. So create a .save file by selecting File, then New, File, then click iOS user interface view. Name your file something descriptive like captionable image view. So open this file interface builder and start designing your view by dragging in components from the object library. Next is create subclass of UI view. Create a subclass of UI view by selecting File, New, then File iOS, Source, then Touch class. Normally, you'll want to name your class to match your XIB file. Step 3. Set common class in Interface Builder. So open your .xib file and select the file's owner object in the document outline. Select the custom class of file's owner to the class you just created. Next, connect outlets. Open the assistant editor and pick your custom class. Create outlets for anything you'll need to manipulate or set programmatically. Next, create outlet for content view. Create an outlet for the top level view in your XIB and call it content view. Step 6. Add initialization code. So in the custom view class, you'll need to override the init with coder and init with frame. So methods to load the .xib and the content view to the view hierarchy. So this is a code in step 6. Class captionable image view. So di ta kaparaan ani kay wa tay saktong gamit. Step 7. Add code that allows configuration of your custom view. So finish adding the rest of the code for your custom class. You'll want to give users of this class a simple way to configure the elements of the view without exposing them to unnecessary details. So for example, in our captionable image view, we can provide more convenient ways to set the image and caption. So this is the code for step 7. So that could be all. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Gretel Katamko. So my topic is about table views or how to create a simple table view app in Xamarin iOS app.xamarin.ios. So table view is one of the common UI elements in iOS apps. Most apps, in some ways, make use of table view to display lists of data. The best example is the built-in phone app. Your contacts are displayed in a table view. Another example is the mail app. It uses table view to display your mailboxes and emails. Not only designed for showing textual data, table view allows you to present the data in the form of images. The built-in video and YouTube app are great examples for the usage. And after we complete our sample app, it will look like this. So, mao na siya kung makahuman na ka og kuan sa imong sample nga iOS. Mao na iyang resulta. So, create sample project, open Xamarin, and select new solution. Next, select iOS inside C# and iPhone Unified API. We are going to develop a single view application to select application to select it. Give this project name sample table view. So, mao na siya ang sample table view. Mao na picture sa sample table view, ma'am, para magkuan ni ma'am, makakita ka. O na kay guide. In the newly created project, we have some default files and a storyboard that we are going to use further in our sample application. So, mao na siya ang kuan. Ang sunod nga step nga mo i-click. Click sample table view controller.cs. Next, now open main storyboard and drag and drop table view from toolbox and give it name equals table data. So, mo na siya ang picture or a guide para imong i-click ang imong table data. For assigning data to the table view, we need a source class that passes data and information like how many rows and which type of cell we are going to use for table view. For that, we are going to use implementation of UI table view source and assign it to the UI table view. There are only two mandatory methods to make a table display data. First, Rosen section, or return a non-count of the total number of rows of data the table should display. Next is the get cell. Return a UI table cell view populated with data for the corresponding row index passed to the method. So, for adding this file into your project, go to the solution and select add new file. So, mao na siya ang picture gapon. New select general and empty class. Give it name table source. It will create a blank file that we are going to use as table source. So, tanawan ang picture kung unsay i-click dira. Find this table source file from solution and open it. We need to implement UI table view source file into our table source file. For that, important UI kit into table source file with using UI kit. Second, now you can add UI table view source to your file and implement its methods. Rosen section and get cell. Declare a string array named table view and a string variable named cell identifier. So next, in table source method, insert a string array parameter. So muna siya ang imong buhaton nga code. Public table source string items open calibrates table data equals items. 4. Now, in row n section, public override named row n section or UI table view named section return item data length. 5. In get cell method, public override UI table cell get cell UI table view foundation ns index path or basta mao na ni ang code, ma'am. Dinala ko tag-tagsag basa kay murag taas na gid. To use this subclass, the sample file or sample table view controller.cs creates a string array to construct the source, then assigns it to a UI table view instance. The sample table view controller did load method looks like this. So mao na siya, ma'am, ang code gihapon. Now, try to build and run the app. If you done all the things right, it look like this. So mao na siya ang finished product na. Thank you, ma'am.
Navigation interface to mimic the organization of hierarchical data managed by your app. At each level of the hierarchy, you provide an appropriate screen managed by a custom view controller. To display the content, at that level, Figure 1 shows an example of the navigation interface presented by the Settings application in iOS Simulator. The first screen presents the users with a list of applications that contain preferences selecting an application reveals individual settings and groups of settings. For that application, selecting a group yields more settings and so on for all. But the root view, the navigation controller provides a back button to allow the users to move back up the hierarchy. The controller also manages the navigation bar at the top of the interface and an optional toolbar at the bottom of the interface. The navigation bar is always present and is managed by the navigation controller itself, which updates the navigation bar using the content provided by its child view controllers. When the is toolbar hidden property is false, the navigation controller similarly updates the toolbar with contents provided by the topmost view controller. Controller views. A navigation controller is a container view controller that embeds the content of our view controllers inside of itself. You access a navigation controller view from its view property. This view incorporates the navigation bar, an optional toolbar, and the content view corresponding to the topmost view controller. It builds the content of the navigation bar dynamically using the navigation items object. Instances of the UIN navigation item of class associated with the view controllers of the navigation stack. To customize the overall appearance of a navigation bar, use of UIA appearance. An API is to change the content of the navigation bar. You must therefore configure the navigation items of your custom view controllers. For more information about navigation items, See the UI in navigation item.
Testing Xamarin iOS application. To test a Xamarin Forms application on an iOS device, you need to prepare both the application, the iOS device, and the computer where the test will run. First, add your iOS device to the provisioning profile of your tested application. Second, compile your Xamarin Forms application for testing. Third, prepare your testing environment to the computer where the test is installed and where you will create tests. Fourth, connect your iOS device to your test complete computer via a USB cable. Fifth, deploy your application on. These are the steps to prepare your application. First, copy the file. Second, add a reference to the SmartBear library to your application. Third, insert the code into the application main method in your application code and save the project. Fourth, optional, add the lab test complete agent static to your application. Fifth, archive your Xamarin Forms iOS application. To do this, right-click your project in the solution panel and select Archive for publishing from the context menu. 6. Create an IPA file for your application. 7. If you compile the LibTest complete agent static a library into your application at step 4, you are done. Your application is ready for testing with test complete. Hey! If you did not compile the library in your application, then start test complete, open your test project in it, and add your IPA file to the list of tested application of your project. When adding the IPA file to the list, choose to instrument the application. For information on how to instrument iOS applications, see Instrumenting iOS Application Test Complete. After that, your iOS application will be ready for testing.
Hi ma'am, good day. My topic is about debugging of Xamarin.iOS application. Okay, so debugging of Xamarin.iOS application. So, starting debugging. Okay, so first is select the target device or similar in your IDE. So, tara makita ra og unsang inyong device inyong available. Tara, kanang mga iPhone 6s. Dayon, when you hit a breakpoint, the code will be highlighted yellow. So, ang inyong code kay ma-highlightan siya yellow. So, debugging tools such as inspecting the values of object can be used at this point to get more information about what is happening in your code. So, mo ni ang mga tools nga inyong gamiton if ang inyong code okay ba? Okay na. Tara. So, kani nga step kay ang Visual Studio 2017 ni siya ang gamiton. Kaning go to settings, then about phone, and tap build number repeatedly until the developer mode is enabled. Second is go into settings, developer options, and turn USB debugging on. Third is connecting your phone to your PC via USB. Fourth is you should be promoted to trust your PC. Then fire up Visual Studio, then open your solution and your device should now be available. So, wala lang ko ipakita o na-debug ba jud siya. But